Black Phone 2 review, guys. Get right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat lady.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. You know what to do, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for making us a part of your day. But let's get right to it. Angela, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about one of our most anticipated sequels, pretty much of spooky season. I know we were super hyped for it.
Yep.
And we are here for it. So we are reviewing Black Phone 2. So as Finn, now 17, struggles with life after his captivity, his sister begins receiving calls in her dreams from the Black Phone and seeing disturbing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp known as Alpine Lake.
Yeah.
So Ryan, kick us off. As I mentioned before, this was really on our radar. I know we were super stoked about that, especially knowing that a lot of the cast is back. So
yeah.
What were your initial thoughts coming out of the theater after seeing this?
You know, this movie is fantastic. First off, I do want to say that. I'm going to initial, if you haven't checked out our reaction, check out our reaction as well. I should have been posted already before this review. This movie is fantastic. I mean, this movie actually, no pun intended, world premiere at Fantastic Fest. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I saw a bunch of reviews. I saw a bunch of stuff kind of already like leaning towards positive note. And I love that. I love that. I love it when movies have the positive, and I'm for it, you know. And one of the key things that I really, really was like, where are they going to go with this? Because of where the first one left off at. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the first one by now, I'm sorry, but he died in the first one. So where are you going to lead off into this? And we're not going to talk about spoilers in this at all. So does it make sense when it comes to the writing, when it comes to story, plot, all? Does it really, do they milk it? And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that they actually had this creator point of view and narrate the story in a way to where the first one was grounded. It was a serial killer, right? That was killing kids, abducting kids, whatever the case may be. And so it looks like it was more than just that. And I like that mythology because they twisted it into its own mythology of almost like the Freddy Krueger style, where it's like, more he's like a not necessarily a demon, but I guess a spirit, if you will, an evil spirit, and who's trying to capture or trying to kill the previous kids who he missed in the first one, if you will. And one of the things that I really did enjoy with Ethan Hawke. Oh my God, he is so brilliant. Mm-hmm. This movie's more bloody. It's more gut twisted. It's literally gut twisted. Guts are coming out. It's more bloody. It's more gory. And I appreciate that so much more. It's like they went up to the next level and just showed us something way more different, way more spectacular. And I'll leave it at that. But before I go rambling on, Angela, what did you think of this movie? I'm kind of curious.
I agree. So it's been a minute since I've seen the first one, but I do know we really liked it. And, you know, when they announced the second one, I was a little unsure of where they were going to take it, like you say. Like, what is it, a continuation? Is it an origin story? Like, you know, what were the...
Is it a prequel?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what was the next step? And I feel like this, how you say, was a really organic way of making it a sequel without, like you say, just for the money. And the story was really good. I will agree it's a little bit more of like a supernatural, tend to do with spirits. And the way the story explains it does make sense. I appreciate it. Yeah. I love supernatural, you know, the genre, like movies, TV shows. And I really, really think that was such an interesting concept, especially when you introduce dreams. You know, most of it's through dreams. And I really like the camera work when you can tell when the dream's happening and when reality is.
It was the color grading of it.
Yeah, it was really
intuitive.
That was really, I thought was really cool. I really liked seeing the cast back. You know, Finney, Gwen, the dad. It was really great. Even the friend Ernesto. So I really.
Oh, Ernesto was one of my favorite characters. Definitely was my favorite character.
It was really cool to see them reprise their roles and see where they're at, you know, years later after the whole thing, the first movie went down. So I really like the story. I think it boils down to a really good story for a sequel.
Yeah.
And I think I agree. The gore and the violent scenes were done so well. Not over the top, not cheesy. I think everything was just very well coordinated, very well put together. It was a very well thought out movie. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and the film takes place in 1982, 4 years after the events of the first film, where the grabber was, and they show us not necessarily a prequel or an origin story of the grabber, but it kind of does. But it's very casual. And I love that because you don't need a whole movie to tell us the origin story. It was very like little bits and pieces here, and you kind of make sense of it all. Yeah, you make sense of it all. You get to know what his real name is, and I love that. I'm not gonna spoil that for you whatsoever, but one of the things that it's definitely more creepier than the first one. Oh, yeah. And then there's certain parts of the supernatural dream horror aspect that I just love, and I just got giddy of because I just enjoyed it.
It's cool.
It was so damn cool. Good. The horror element, especially between Gwen's nightmares that we saw in this movie. Oh my God, that was so good. Like you already mentioned already with the nightmares, and they are very, very well done. Especially, there's a few jump scares, and I gotta say though, they didn't use a lot of them, which I like because movies tend to do that too much. They tend to just be like, one of the worst experience ever was La Llorona, which was not the Shudder movie. That was made by an independent company. Not that one. The Hollywood version of it, the Warner Brothers one, was just horrible. It was just jump scare after jump scare. It felt just like annoying, and it just annoyed me the whole time of the movie because there's no story, there's no concept here, there's no point, if you will. And with this movie, they really have a story-driven thought process of Ethan Hawke's character, the grabber. You get to see where apart from the first one that we saw him in, what's the difference between the grabber back, in the first movie than this one. You get to see if you will, prequel kind of deal, but it's very, like I said, it's very casual.
I would say not necessarily a prequel. I would say more an explanation of
more
the grabber,
his origins of where it started, if you will. But it doesn't really give us too much. It just gives us a little bit of those facts here because I kind of feel like it leaves it very open-ended to where they can really touch up on some other stuff there as well. The winter scene, I really enjoyed the winter scene where we got to see a lot of snow. The blizzard scene was really cool. We got to see more of the aspect of the cold, and that was the whole point. The picture is very, very cold, and I got that after watching the movie like halfway through. I was like, damn, it's like really like you can. Obviously, it's in a snow area, right? We knew that from the trailers.
I think Colorado.
Yeah. Colorado? But more so, the color grading is very, very white or filtered blue, if you will, and it's a point given, right? I noticed a little bit of stuff like that, so it's definitely driven to that point to where yes, it's trying to set the tone for you as an audience member. So I appreciate that.
What does he say? Hell isn't fire, it's ice or something.
It's ice. That. Yeah, that was really good.
That was funny.
That was really good. And then we saw character development, of course, with Finney, the older, as well as Gwen to have more. That's the thing too, is that the main two leads here are Gwen and Finney. Yeah. And they both siblings, brother and sister, and you get to see where they started in the movie, and they have so much development throughout the film, and you get to see Gwen's character really have a huge impact towards the end of the movie, and I'll leave it at that, guys. But it definitely has that sibling relationship is definitely deep, and I feel like it explores it and explores the trauma that they kind of shared because she wasn't abducted. I don't think in the first one.
No, she wasn't. But she does. It again.
But it still impacted her though.
Yeah. So it definitely, whatever happened the first, impacted the family as a whole, not just Finney. But also, you see why. She's impacted in this one. You see, like you say, the character development between the two. And it's just really nice. Yeah. It was so great chemistry on screen. And I got to say, kudos to them, too. They were great reprising their roles. I also did want to mention the two of the new characters we get. Yes. Ariana Rivas, who plays Mustang. Oh, and she's great. I love it. Bashir, who plays Mondo. And so they were the two ones that run the new camp. That was cool. When they go. And they were just so lovable. Yeah. You root for them as soon as they get on screen. And I just can't say enough about their chemistry with the cast, and it was just, everything was just so well rounded. I just can't rave enough about the cast. Even the ones that were like that were hiding, or I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but the ones that were being the less helpful, I'll say that. Yeah. Even though they were like, it's like they still got a story, and you got to see that a little bit. Now it wasn't as deep as the other ones, obviously, because they're not the main characters, but we still got an aspect of their personality, and that's what we want. Moviegoers, that's what we want. We want more personality from our characters, not just they're there. Okay, cool.
And then also going back to where I already said about the dream logic and like the dream scenario of the picture, it's called grainy and analog, and you get to see those textures with dream sequences there.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. And it comes down to flickering edits. We got to see also the gore of Ethan Hawke's character a little bit. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's definitely really good. I really did enjoy that. I really did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was so good in the first one, because I haven't really seen him besides this one play a really good villain.
No, he's never played a villain except Black Phone.
Yeah, and so it was really cool to see him be that in the first one, and he just again reprises his role. It's just another amazing job in this one.
Yeah.
Obviously he doesn't have as many parts because he's technically dead, but I still enjoyed what we got from him on the screen. And I will say the story's pretty spooky. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not him on camera, it's usually his voice, so we get to see that.
The
too.
voice,
yeah.
And I think the voice playing.
I couldn't tell it was him sometimes. Yeah,
I could tell sometimes, but the voice playing with the phone, that was definitely a really creepy. Like just adding those little effects again. It's just a thought that goes into it.
Yeah,
it was a really solid film.
Yeah, definitely. What do you give this rating, Angela? 1 out of 10.
I would give it a solid 8 because, again, I enjoy the cast. I enjoyed the way it was filmed. Like you say, the differentiating between the dreams and the reality. That was really cool. The effects, the cast, and boiled down to the story. The story was very good for a sequel. Yeah. It was a very well thought out sequel, very natural. I really can't get enough of this and the gore and everything. Cherry on top, because it was done fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to give this because it really expanded on the mythology and it really expanded on the stronger elements of horror, supernatural, something that's very different, and it stretches thin, right? I mean, people say, you're stretching too thin. I don't think so. I think this is thought out very, very well. And whether this was their plan or not, kudos to the writer and director, kudos to them, to that person to really focus in on Scott Dickerson, who's actually done the Doctor Strange, the Sinister movie, that which was with Ethan Hawke as well, but he was a good guy.
And
so Sinister is a great storytelling.
Same footage, like lens filter quality, the way it's shot. Though Sinister is still a movie that
and the runtime for this movie is 114 minutes. And the budget was only $30 million.
Not bad.
I think it's not bad because you think about it, so at one set, really think about. I mean, Ethan Hawke's, of course, the main headliner here. But needless to say, I'm gonna give this a solid 9.3 out of 10. Wow. I really did enjoy this freaking movie. Go check this movie out. I do recommend it. It's definitely the Halloween season. I know it's still hot here in Texas, but it's all good. Go check out this movie, guys. I recommend. Hopefully, the coldness. You bring the coldness when you watch the film. And one of the things that I'm gonna say as well is the fact that, I really enjoyed how they expanded more on Finn and Gwen's storytelling, and I'll leave it at that, guys. They really expand on the family storytelling. I'll leave it at that because it's definitely kind of, is it predictable? I mean, it kind of leans on towards it, but at the same time, though, it's still impactful. It still is. All right, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680. Question is for you guys. What do y'all think? Let us know in the comments down below. And let's get right to it. I'm Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680. I'm going to repeat myself.
I'm Angela.
This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Have a good one. See you at the movies. Laters.